Do you feel like you're struggling with your personal life or weighted down by the world's events? If so, you are not alone. Today I'm going to share with you the advice that the Armchair Expert Dax Shepard shared with his wife Kristen Bell when she came to the realization that all of this, everything that's going on in the world right now in her personal life, was getting in the way of her being able to function and be present in her life. Stay tuned. If you're new here, then my name is Dr. Elisha Goldstein. I'm a clinical psychologist. I am the founder of the Mindful Living Collective, and I'm the creator of the world's first mental health accelerator program called Uncover the Power Within. If you're looking to grab more personal control over your mind and your life with an awesome learning experience, my regular support, and incredible community, you can click on the link in the description below. Okay, so if you don't already know them, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, I'm going to leave their links below so you can check them out if you want to. I'll hardly do service to their bios, but what I will tell you is that they're both successful actors in their own right. They have been incredible mental health advocates, oftentimes sharing their personal struggles around anxiety and depression and addiction, and also helping to destigmatize and normalize and take the shame away from these personal struggles that millions and millions and millions of people all over the world share. And so one of the places that Dax first made his impression on me was in the show Parenthood. If you haven't seen that show and you like a good tearjerker with some warmth and comedy in it, you can definitely check that one out. Really incredible show. And then Kristen Bell has done so much. The voice of Anna in Frozen, and been in The Good Place, and so much prior to that. And Dax started a podcast a long time ago called The Armchair Expert. And Kristen has come on that show many times, and both, again, sometimes just together, sharing these types of experiences. And so one of the experiences that I wanted to share was one that I read about where Kristen was talking about during the pandemic and through this time, there's just been a lot of world struggle and people struggling in the world. And when you're a highly sensitive person, sometimes you take that on. It's hard to tell the difference between other people's suffering and your own. And if you've had a history of anxiety or depression or trauma, you're more likely to be susceptible to being triggered and cued by those things. So in a conversation with Dax, he said, it was making it hard for her to be present in her own life, present to her children. And in a conversation, he said this particular quote that I wanted to share with you. Either get up and donate money, or donate your time, or do something to help, or take that story in, give it some love, and come out here and be a good mom and a good wife and a good friend, and live your life in honor of the suffering that happens in the world. So what does that mean? What is he telling her in that? He's basically saying, like, look, you're swimming inside of your head. There's so much that you're focusing that you can't control. So you're really focusing on what you can't control. And what we focus on, what we can't control, we exacerbate our stress. And if we have a history of anxiety or depression or trauma, we're setting up a slippery slope. And we can get stuck in a particular loop of focusing on things we can't control and feeling the weight of the world and people suffering. It reminds me of a bumper sticker I saw when I used to live in Berkeley, California, and it said, if you're not depressed, you're not paying attention. And that always stuck with me. And also, just to say that that's what's happening in that particular bumper sticker is that's a focus on, again, the struggles in the world and things that are happening, and a focus on what we can't control. So what Dax was saying in this, and by the way, Kristen's been an incredible advocate for his own addiction issues, and when he has slipped in his own recovery and things like that. So two-way street in that relationship, it seems, which is really wonderful. And what he was saying was, look, let's focus on what you can control here, and let's be a support. So either you can, if we go back to it, either you can do things like donate money or donate your time or do something to help. So what he's saying is, look, why don't you focus on what you can control here? And why don't you engage the muscle of generosity and altruism, which is deeply steeped in the addiction world, to go out and volunteer and give. And it's a whole lot of wisdom in the field of mental health. Because what are you doing there? You're focusing on what you can control. You're You're creating an experience of connection when you're feeling disconnected, which is healthy. My research published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology back in 2006 showed that connection is at the epicenter of well-being. And so you're creating the experience of that as well. Or, he says, give it some love and come here and be a good mom and a good wife and a good friend and live your life in honor. So what does that mean? That's another experience that you can say, all right, so one thing that you can do is practice something that has been shown to impact our neurobiology, impact our positive emotions, impact our sense of connection, which you can think of the people who are struggling in the world, and you can give it some love. You can say, may you find more ease, may you move out of this difficult experience, may you find a sense of strength through this, may you feel a sense of connection and support. Give it some love. And what we found is, and what's been found in that in a study that came out of University of North Carolina by Barbara Fredrickson, was that when we do a practice like that regularly, oftentimes called the loving kindness practice, and we do it systematically, we can impact our own positive emotions that we experience, and we can even impact this nerve, this 10th cranial nerve that connects our brain to our heart, called the vagus nerve. And when we impact the tone of that, measured by heart rate variability, and it goes up, that's connected with feeling better. So there's things we can do. And oftentimes in the favor of connection and generosity and altruism when we're not feeling well, that can positively impact our mental health, create a sense of resiliency, and more. So I hope that was helpful to you, and that was great advice, an incredibly useful mental health tip by Dax to Kristen. And if that was helpful, see how you can bring that in your life. Consider that for a moment. How can I bring this into my life? Where can I bring it into my life on a regular basis to make it impact on my own mental health? A few tips, so easy. When you're getting a cup of coffee, look at the barista in the eye and ask her how her day is going. Or maybe when you're commuting, let another car go in front of you, or if you're going over a bridge and you need to pay a toll, go ahead and pay the toll for the person behind you. If you're lying in the airport, help a person who's also in a rush. Different ways that you can bring a sense of connection, getting outside of yourself, things you can do to help other people in the world feel so good. Here's a few more. When at work, be generous with hugs. Yes. If you feel safe, be generous with hugs with your friends and your coworkers. Think about somebody who has helped you and go ahead and show some gratitude to them with a text or a message or a short video or something like that. You can even nowadays record audio right from your text or from any message that you're doing. Go ahead and record something for them, a brief thank you. That goes a long way for people. Finally, and the final point here is, I know a lot of people, through being a psychologist and working with thousands and thousands of people around their own personal struggles, that there's a lot of people who are often struggling, and we don't really realize it because we don't really see it. They put their best face on. They put their game face in life on, who are struggling with past trauma, anxiety, depression, and they come off as difficult people to us sometimes. Sometimes we're those difficult people. And so be aware of that when you run across someone who's difficult, and remember that phrase, to be kind to everyone, because everyone is fighting some battle in some way. And so just remember that sometimes it's not personal, and kindness goes a long way. So if this was helpful to you, please do like the video, and that helps YouTube bring it up to other people so they can benefit from this type of content in their life, to support them in their life with the stress and overwhelm that they experience. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. We put out great mental health tips every single week that are going to really support your life. So subscribe and feel free to share whatever you need to. And otherwise, if you want to get more regular support from me, you want the support of an incredible community, and you want to go through a program that's absolutely going to support a greater sense of personal control in your mind and your life, then go ahead and click on the link for the Uncover the Power Within program below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave a few great videos on the other end of this to continue to support you and enjoy, and hopefully be a positive impact in your life. Okay, I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye for now.